Hey there viewers, welcome back to Supermariodiagnostics once again. Today we don't have a repair video. Well, I guess it is kind of a repair video. I kind of screwed up my Phoenix Max MDCI Pro. So what happened was I bumped my head into this one. I have this magnet going on here and it kind of just makes it easier for me to work like this and just tilt it. But I was a little not careful and it just destroyed this right here. And luckily enough, Topdon decided to send out a replacement, and we're going to show you exactly how to replace this. It's not too complicated, but we're going to go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to set this up on a tripod and we're going to go ahead and get this thing fixed. So we've got our broken unit here. It does still work, it does still communicate. I've been using it, no problem. It's just the screen that really went out on this one. I'm actually pretty surprised that it's a whole cover. It's not just the screen. So we're gonna use a T10 right here and get this handle out. It's 4 screws, 2 on each side. I mean, if you guys are mechanics, technicians, this is pretty basic stuff, right? I'm gonna take that handle off. This cover's gonna have to come off. If you want to put some tape on it to protect yourself from getting cut, feel free to do so, but this cover's gonna come off from the behind. Do so at your own risk. If you're watching this video, I mean, I'm sure you guys get cuts and burns all the time. I know I do. But yeah, this gasket's on there real good, this cover here. So and we are off. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8 screws. They're Phillips. They're not the big ones. You're not going to want to just stick any Phillips screwdriver in there so that you don't strip it out. Let's go ahead and take those off. Now we got that lid off. We're gonna be careful not to lose anything. I'm gonna set that aside. And we've got a lot of what looks like relays, whatnot, doesn't really matter, but we got more Phillips. You see our screen is on the other side, so we have to uncover all of this stuff. So let's go ahead and do just that. And that is 6 screws out. Set those aside, don't lose them. And we're gonna have to scoot this side up. Obviously it's connected to the motherboard underneath, so you're gonna have to be very careful on how you handle this part right here. We've got these 2 connectors that were already siliconed. And let's see if we can get those out in one piece. That's the thing about the silicone. You may have to kind of break that off or whatnot. You know what? Maybe we could just set this aside. Let's just go ahead and set it aside. I'm just going to twist it just to kind of like give it some play. We're going to be very gentle, right? And we have like an antenna here, and we have some connections going on to the other side as well. So we're going to remove 4 screws. There are 4 more Phillips screws that we're going to have to take off here. I don't know that I want to take these off because of that silicone. It's pretty hard. It's up to you. It may make your life easier to remove it, but in my case, I don't know that it's worth the hassle. So we got 4 more Phillips screws right here, 1 on each corner. This is where you want to be very careful because it doesn't take all that much to rip something off the board. If you have any doubts whatsoever, feel free to reach out to me. I can help you out. Or you can just send it to Topdon. I'm sure they'll take good care of you. we're gonna go ahead and remove this antenna from here. It does have a little bit of silicone, so I'm just gonna move it side to side just to kind of break it loose. Let's see if you guys can see this. And this is the antenna that I'm talking about. If you want to play it safe, you can grab a tool to grab it and take it out instead of using your fingers. There we go. It's a neat little tool. I actually got this from Diagnostics. Pretty cool stuff. Just gonna grab my little pry tool here. But we're gonna have to kind of like scoot it that way. So this OBD port is bothering me and I don't feel like taking these off. I'm just gonna remove these two Phillips screws that are holding that OBD port in place. Obviously very carefully. This is just to give me the clearance that I want because I don't feel comfortable having all of this obstruction here. So I feel a whole lot better now with that out of the way. And I'm just gently gonna feel for any kind of resistance because the last thing I need is something to get pulled off. So I feel like I have to take this off as well. If I'm not mistaken, the new part, let's see, the new part comes in like this, and that is what we're looking at right now. So I'm gonna remove this tape out of here, and I'm going to use this tool again. And carefully peel that back. And I think that'll do it as long as it doesn't come forward anymore. And it wants to come forward, so I'm just going to remove it completely. You don't want to pull straight up, you want to pull back. So we're going to set that to the side. And we have a little latch in the back here. Usually these are like a directional. There it goes. I pulled up, and now we got this loose here. And we do see another ribbon here. So we're going to want to be careful on how fast we pull this sucker up. And it looks like I've broken it in the past. This is not supposed to be loose like that. So yours will not be loose like that if you didn't already break it. There are some detents holding it down. There we go. Slide that back a bit. And we've got another piece of tape in there. Hopefully you guys can see this. There's our next piece of tape right there. We're gonna go ahead and move that tape out of the way. And I'm really hoping you guys could see this. I'm gonna throw this flap up a little bit. Carefully. And the flap is up, the ribbon is out. And it's out. Now what I don't see is that this antenna piece is not over here. And we're also gonna have to transfer all of this over here as well. So I'm going to gently get this piece out. That's all it is a sticky antenna right there. Just gonna stick that down, and I'm gonna transfer over these plates over here. Since it's already broken, it only took one screw to get that going. I'm going to have to repair that on a separate occasion, but for this video, actually, you know what, I should just take care of that right now, to be honest with you. Put this back in its place, tighten that down. I'm gonna grab some adhesive and get that fixed. And I'm gonna use some of this stuff right here. Pretty good stuff. Star Bond, medium. Not a sponsor, I'm just, it's good stuff. You know, I'm just putting it out there. I really like this stuff a lot. Just try not to get the screw. You do not want to get that on the screw like I did. But hey, I'll deal with that when the time comes. Hopefully this will never happen again. Let that set in while we keep moving. And we don't need this one here anymore. Say goodbye to that one. And we're gonna bring this sucker back in here. And we're gonna carefully place that rib and back on. Let's go ahead and whoa, already broke the second one. No, I'm just kidding. So place that ribbon cable right in there carefully. I know you guys can't see this, but you already saw how to take it out. The tricky part is getting it back in there. This is where a microscope would be awesome, but also it'll be extremely difficult to use it practically. So we are in. We are in. It has a little guideline as well, which is pretty nice. Let's put that piece of tape on there. That way this does not come flying up when dropped. Put that nice and tight. And the tape is back on. So far so good. What do you guys think? Look at this rookie. Bet you're thinking that. And we're trying to line things up right now. Kind of just wanted to drop in there. It has to scoot in here. This Ethernet port has to scoot in, so. All right, we're fully seated. We're going to take our antenna and try to just with like no sideways pressure, you know what I mean? Just go straight down and make sure that antenna is in there real good. Should be able to move it around. They put silicone on it to prevent it from coming up. It might be a good idea for me to do something like that. I may use just a tiny dab of this glue here. This is really strong stuff, so I don't want to use too much. You know what? I'm just gonna grab some from over here. Tiny bit from the other side. Honestly, I'm not even too worried. This thing's like mozzarella cheese over here. It's so sticky. And we got some glue on there. Now we're going to put that final ribbon cable there. All right, we got the ribbon cable in. Just gonna make sure it's fully seated, and we're gonna push down on this tab. And we're gonna put that piece of tape back on that I left over here. And we got our tape back on. Let's go ahead and put our screws in. All right, our screws are in. We got our tape down. We don't have our OBD in just yet. Let's go ahead and put that first real quick. All right, and we can put this top motherboard back on. That's how it came in. It was all twisted up. Gonna make sure our pins are aligned here on both sides, and they are, and we are in. We got our 6 screws here. Let's go ahead and put those in. All right, so let's go ahead and put our cap back on and make note of our orientation here. We can see our silicone is right up here, so that's gonna go on to where these are. And we're gonna lay that cap on and tighten down our 8 screws. I don't have any torque specs for you or any sequence for you. There is no sequence on these. It's just a mechanic in me. All right, I'm gonna put our rubber cover back on, and we're gonna make sure that we have our OBD side over here where it says vehicle. We're gonna have that face this way. And finally our handle. There's no orientation really, but well, you know, my OCD is kicking in. Carefully tighten up these bolts. Proceeds to strip them. And we're gonna do a final function check. Good enough for me. Let's put this in a car, shall we? Let's go ahead and try it out on this nice little Mercedes over here. And which is locked. Check that out. Nice looking car, huh? Just go ahead and put that in there. If I can find it. Wrong way. All right. See if it lights up. Success, baby. That's what I like to see right there. It feels like it's been forever. we're just gonna hit auto scan, make sure it communicates. And I do need to have the key on. I did hear a beep, so vehicle is communicating. Sweet. And that's a wrap, fellas. That concludes this video. Nice, we got a VIN pulled. Thank you all for taking the time to watch. If you run into this, I hope this video becomes useful for you. And if you have any questions or concerns, please be sure to leave a comment in the comment section. And if you are looking to get the cover or the screen by itself, be sure to reach out to Topdon or reach out to me and I'll put you in contact with somebody and we'll see how we can make that happen for you. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate you all for taking the time and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.